Charon, the ferryman of the underworld. Hello, friends. Today, we will tell you about Charon. In ancient Greek mythology, death was not merely the end of one's earthly journey, but a transition to another realm, where souls traveled to the kingdom of Hades. This passage could not be undertaken alone. Charon, the ferryman of the underworld, was the one who guided the dead. His grim presence and inescapable duty made him one of the most iconic figures in Greek beliefs about the afterlife. Charon played a crucial role in Greek religious thought, ensuring the transition of souls across the subterranean waters. The payment for his services, the associated burial rites, his appearance, and his nature all shaped the ancient perception of death. In this report, we will explore Charon's origins, his function and significance, and the religious aspects linked to him. Charon's origins and nature. The name Charon has been subject to various interpretations. One of the most common theories connects it to a Greek word meaning fury or terror, highlighting Charon's association with death and the forces of the underworld. Charon was one of the chthonic figures of Greek mythology. According to traditional accounts, he was the son of Nyx, the goddess of night, and Erebus, the god of darkness. These deities embodied the primordial chaos and gloom that existed before the world's creation. Thus, Charon belonged to the earliest generation of chthonic entities, predating the Olympian gods. His familial connections included Thanatos, the god of death, who collected the souls of the departed and handed them over to Charon. Hypnos, the god of sleep, representing forgetfulness, closely linked to Charon's role. Keres, spirits of violent death, who took the souls of those slain in battle. The Moirai, fates, the goddesses who determined the lifespan of every mortal, making Charon the executor of their decrees. This genealogy emphasizes that Charon was not an independent force, but part of a broader pantheon of chthonic deities governing the afterlife. Charon's place in the underworld. Charon played a key role in the afterlife of the ancient Greeks. He ferried the souls of the dead across one of the underworld's rivers, most often the Charon or the Styx. However, he was neither all-powerful nor a judge of the dead. He did not decide their fate, but merely transported them to Hades' realm. Unlike the Olympian gods or even chthonic deities like Hades, Charon was not traditionally worshipped in Greek religion. However, his presence was so deeply ingrained in the concept of the afterlife that burial rituals associated with him became essential. His role was closely tied to the rivers of the underworld. Styx, the river of hatred upon which the gods swore unbreakable oaths. Charon, the river of sorrow, most commonly linked to Charon. Cocytus, the river of wailing, where restless souls wandered. Phlegethon, the river of fire, associated with the punishment of sinners. Lethe, the river of forgetfulness, whose waters erased memories of past lives. Thus, Charon was more than just a ferryman. He was a guardian between worlds, ensuring the proper order of the afterlife. The image of Charon in mythology. Descriptions of Charon in ancient Greek literature and art depict him as a grim and stern ferryman whose appearance reflects his chthonic nature. Across various sources, his image shares common features. An old man with a sullen expression, yet not feeble. His body is sinewy and strong as he constantly rows across the underworld's waters. A thick beard and long unkempt tangled hair, symbolizing his connection to the realm of the dead. Eyes filled with darkness, sometimes described as gleaming or burning with fire, emphasizing his supernatural essence and link to death. Rough, tattered, dark-colored clothing, typically a cloak with a hood or a damp worn chiton, reflecting the moisture of the underworld. An oar and a boat, his constant attributes, without which he cannot fulfill his duty. In later depictions, he was sometimes portrayed as skeletal, but this was largely influenced by Roman and medieval traditions, which associated Charon more closely with the personification of death. The conditions of passage. To enter the underworld, a soul had to observe an important ritual, being buried with a coin, an obol placed under the tongue or on the eyes. Charon refused to ferry those who had not been properly buried. Such souls remained on the shores of the Charon River, wandering for 100 years before finally being allowed to cross. Lacked payment, an obol or a drachma had to be given to Charon, or he would not transport the soul. This detail highlights that the crossing was not merely a journey, but a crucial ritual tied to the tradition of honoring the dead. Charon in myths. Charon appears in numerous myths, interacting not only with ordinary souls but also with heroes and gods. Orpheus and Charon. Orpheus, seeking to rescue his beloved Eurydice, descends into the underworld. However, he is neither dead nor does he possess the necessary payment for Charon. Instead, Orpheus uses his music to enchant the ferryman. Moved by the song, Charon agrees to take him across the river. This episode underscores the power of art and music, capable of touching even the harshest chthonic forces. Heracles and Charon. During his 12th labor, the capture of Cerberus, Heracles also encounters Charon. Unlike Orpheus, Heracles does not negotiate but intimidates Charon, forcing him to ferry him across by sheer strength. As a result, Charon was punished by Hades and deprived of his role for many years. This is one of the rare instances where he is shown yielding to physical power. Charon and the cult of the afterlife. Charon had no dedicated temple or cult, but his image was an essential part of funeral rites. Coins have been found in the mouths of the deceased in ancient Greek burials, confirming the significance of the myth of Charon in real religious practice. In some regions, Charon was associated with chthonic spirits and depicted in scenes illustrating the soul's passage from the world of the living to the world of the dead. Conclusion. Charon is one of the darkest and most enigmatic figures in ancient Greek mythology. Though not a god in the full sense of the word, his role in the structure of the afterlife was as crucial as that of Hades or Persephone. He was the unchanging guide of the dead. The belief in the necessity of crossing the river of the underworld was not merely a myth, but a fundamental part of ancient Greek funerary culture. The custom of placing a coin in the mouth of the deceased demonstrates that the Greeks took Charon's existence seriously and sought to ensure the successful passage of the dead into the afterlife. On a broader level, Charon became a symbol of Orbes, the boundary between life and death. He represents the threshold that cannot be crossed without proper preparation. Fate, his figure, serves as a reminder of the inevitable end that awaits every person. Transition, he fulfills the role of a soul guide, much like Hermes, but on the journey to the final world. Charon is not merely a mythological character, but an archetypal figure embodying the idea of death as a journey. He is neither good nor evil. He is unchanging and relentless, a symbol of the very order of the cosmos. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about ancient Greek mythology, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss new episodes. Let us know in the comments which myths and deities you'd like to learn about in future videos. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next episodes.